Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that is recording something special back there. Today in the news, it's a sad day for the workers of the gaming world, because unionization in games took a hit this week as the Communications Workers of America withdrew its request for a unionization vote at Proletariat Blizzard. Unfortunately, Proletariat CEO Seth Civic chose to follow Activision Blizzard's lead and respond to the workers' desire to form a union with confrontational tactics, the union said. Like many founders, he took the workers' concerns as a personal attack and held a series of meetings that demoralized and disempowered the group, making a free and fair election impossible. As we've seen at Microsoft's ZeniMax Studio, there is another path forward, one that empowers workers through a free and fair process without intimidation or manipulation by the employer. We will continue to advocate alongside workers in the video game industry for better working conditions, higher standards, and a union voice. That sucks, man, but it's kind of been this way for as long as we've been talking about it. Blizzard has this strategy that they keep using, and it starts with, we're friends, we're family, how could you do this? I thought we were on the same page, and ends up at, those who don't join a union, will give you a pay raise instead. It's just scummy tactics across the board, trying to appeal to people and their common decency, when really, there's nothing decent about the way a lot of these workers are treated. It's all corporate tactics. On an executive level, it's pretty scummy and pretty lame, and it definitely explains this next story. Classic WoW's technical lead developer Brian Birmingham has left Blizzard Entertainment under protest after refusing to give out an undeservedly low employee evaluation in order to fill competitive stack ranking quotas required by executive leadership. Now, if you don't know what this corpo bullshit is, and this isn't necessarily a strictly Blizzard thing, this is pervasive in the corporate world in general, but this article is about Blizzard, so we're gonna focus on that. So as an example, let's say I'm reviewing all of you at home. According to stack ranking, what I need to do is give some of you a low review, even if technically you haven't earned it or deserved it or whatever. I need to give it to you to form some kind of bell curve. So then essentially what it does is it pits all of you against each other for my approval, which leads to, you kissing my ass or undercutting your fellow employees in order to get a higher ranking. All things that on a corporate, executive level is we're gonna get rid of the weak, but on a everyday level is so toxic. Just unreal levels of toxicity in the workplace. But the best part is, imagine a perfect world where all of you are amazing, which, you already are. But imagine I had to then, between all of you amazing people, just pick some of you and say you're bad at it. You're not quite as amazing as everyone else. And so now that negative reflects upon you and your job performance and any future raises and whatever. And what are you going to do? You're going to want to keep working for a company like that? So when Birmingham was interviewed by Bloomberg, he had this to say. When team leads asked why we had to do this, World of Warcraft directors explained that while they did not agree, the reasons given by executive leadership were that it was important to squeeze the bottommost performers as a way to make sure everyone continues to grow. This sort of policy encourages competition between employees, sabotage of one another's work, a desire for people to find low-performing teams that they can be the best performing worker on, and ultimately erodes trust and destroys creativity. He went on to then go make a bunch of Twitter follow-ups and elaborate more on what he had to say. They're great. Down below, you can click the link and go check them out. But nothing shocking about this. If there was ever a story about the executives at ABK, this is exactly what you would expect. And lastly, because if everything else is on fire, why not League of Legends? Riot Games has confirmed that on January 20th, its development environment had been compromised by a social engineering attack, a method which involves the psychological manipulation of people into performing actions or divulging confidential information, all of which is just a very legalese version of someone convinced an employee to give up the source code. Yep, that's right, the source code of League of Legends, Teamfight Tactics, and a legacy anti-cheat platform were stolen. Today, we received a ransom email, the studio said in an update on Tuesday. Needless to say, we won't pay. While this attack disrupted our build environment and could cause issues in the future, most importantly, we remain confident that no player data or player personal information was compromised. They say they should have things fixed later this week, but at the moment, they can't really do anything. It makes you wonder, since, like a lot of tech companies, they laid off a bunch of employees recently. Maybe that had something to do with it? Who knows? But with the way 2023 is going so far for the gaming space, damn. Anyway, that is it for today's news. I'll hopefully see you tomorrow for some better 5-minute gaming news.